This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Kia ora, good evening. Welcome to the South Today. I'm Daryl Baser. New Zealand is now at an alert level 3 status in the fight to stop the spread of the coronavirus known as COVID-19. Many businesses have reopened today, operating in a non-contact way, putting a strain on some systems. We at Allied Press thank you for your viewership, readership and understanding at this time, as New Zealand enters the first weekend at level 3. At this afternoon's media announcement, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern says with more people returning to work today, the country needs to be more vigilant than ever.
Welcome everyone to day one of Alert Level 3. I want to begin by stressing that at Alert Level 3 we are not out of the woods. As I have said before, it is a recovery room of sorts to assess if the incredible work that New Zealanders have done at level 4 to break the virus's chain of transmission and prevent further community outbreak has worked. As Susie Wiles said today, there may still be some smouldering ashes out there, and they have the potential to become a wildfire again if we give them the chance. It can take from 2 to 10 days for people to have been exposed to COVID-19 to come down with symptoms. That means we wouldn't smell the smoke for a few weeks, and that could put us back where we started before the lockdown, end quote. So with more people going back to work today, we need to be even more vigilant at level 3 to prevent any inadvertent spreading of the virus. We must continue to stay home where possible, including for work and education. Please stay regional and limit non-essential travel. And even though you can expand your bubble, keep it as small as possible and exclusive.
And stay tuned to Channel 39 to see today's full announcement. Like many towns across New Zealand, Dunedin was buzzing with the COVID alert level being reduced to level 3 this morning. At level 3, cafes and restaurants can start selling takeaway meals and drinks again in a contactless way.
Just before 7 a.m. this morning, McDonald's on Dunedin's Andersons Bay opened its drive-through to motorists who had been missing out on their fast food fix for the last 4.5 weeks of lockdown. With the restaurant drive-through keeping EFTPOS and food handling at separate windows, owner Justin Stonelake is confident his drive-through is safe for both customers and staff.
Yeah, look, they've got gloves on, they don't come in contact with the actual person. They're keeping their distance, obviously, because they're in a car. We've got a shield up as well to prevent that exposure. So I think there's definitely, we're minimising any risk that we possibly can.
Level 3 means staff have to maintain physical distancing and have contactless interactions at cafes and takeaway drive-through restaurants. This means many outlets are refusing cash and some offering mobile apps as a method of payment. And some insist on the contactless PayWave EFTPOS only. Cafes are keeping customers from entering by blocking their front door with a table, which in many cases serves as the location of the EFTPOS terminal. Despite the relatively quiet streets, several owners said they were happy with their first day back in business. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Some of Dunedin City Council's services have restarted this week with the country's move to Alert Level 3. This includes the cleaning of mud tanks, sweeping of gutters, cutting the city's grass on the city's sports fields, and work at the Dunedin Botanic Garden. Curbside glass recycling will also resume, with glass being set to be processed at an Auckland plant as long as it's contamination-free. However, with many recycling facilities staying shut, mixed recycling objects, including cardboard, plastic and tins, will still be dumped in the region's landfills. Dunedin families stood together in spirit, but apart in distance at dawn on Anzac Day, remembering those who served the country. Families lined their streets and neighbourhoods, while others stood to attention on their front lawns, listening to the last post. The cenotaph in Queen's Gardens stood alone as the COVID-19 pandemic saw Anzac Day services across the country cancelled for the first time in history. But people of all ages commemorated from their lockdown bubbles, taking part in the Stand at Dawn service organised by the RSA and New Zealand Defence Association. Crews from New Zealand Fire and Emergency also held their own service. About 15 members stood outside Dunedin's central station at 6 a.m. with the doors open and fire engines behind them. In Queenstown, Jen Numaguchi gave his rendition of the last post on his street, while in Oamaru, Neville Cowes blew the familiar tune from his veranda. Wreaths were laid at monuments across the south in all weathers as people gave thanks to those who served their country. Dunedin RSA President Lox Callis listened to his neighbour play the last post on the bugle from his home at dawn. And he hopes people will adopt the new idea of putting poppies on their front gate or letterbox and continue doing it in the years to come. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, they were remembered again. The South Today. New Zealand's shift to Alert Level 3 today was welcomed by surfers across the country. Dunedin's St Clair Beach saw enthusiastic board riders making the most of what were modest-sized waves breaking on the beach.
Fine weather and modest waves at Dunedin's St Clair Beach were enough of a draw card for about a dozen keen surfers to enjoy being allowed out on the water again for the first day of Level 3. James Cross says he was glad to be back out riding the waves after a month stuck on dry land.
Oh, I just got out for a surf this morning. Yeah, it should be at work, but haven't surfed for 5-6 weeks, so yeah.
By 9 a.m, about a dozen surfers were catching the occasional modest-sized waves, and Quinn Hartley says despite the mediocre conditions, there was plenty of room for the riders to enjoy their time.
In terms of the surf, yeah, pretty good. A little bit messy, a few rides on offer. I'd say people were, as you can see out there, sort of keeping at least 2 metres between each other.
And the surfers say they're keen to come back again later in the week.
Yeah, commitments with work, but try and get out there for a sneaky one in the morning.
Warm sunny days with not much wind are forecast for the rest of the week, which actually means the quality of waves is likely to diminish over the next 5 days. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Time now for a look at the weather. Beginning with the situation, there's a few more days of the mild northerly airflow to come, but some rain is set to arrive at the weekend, with much colder weather on the way. In the southern towns, the Catlins and Balclutha are due for some high cloud and 16 degrees. It's set to be similar in Lumsden and Gore, but 1 degree warmer for you on 17 degrees. Heading across to the Central Lakes, Wanaka and Alexandra are heading for light northeasterlies and some high cloud and 18 degrees. Queenstown is similar but 1 degree cooler on 17, while Te Anau can expect freshening northwesterlies, cloud increasing and 15 degrees. In the northern towns, on the coast, there's a place to be tomorrow with Timaru and Oamaru expecting light northeasterlies and clear skies. Timaru aims for 18 and Oamaru 17 degrees. While inland, Twizel and Omarama are both in line for light winds, clear blue skies and 19 degrees. In Dunedin, it'll be a great night for stargazing as it's due to be crystal clear with an overnight low of 9 degrees. Sunny and mild tomorrow with moderate northerly winds and high cloud increasing late in the day. Expect a high of 18 and a low of 10 degrees. It'll be fine and mild with high cloud on Thursday and light northerly winds. A high of 16 and a low of 11 degrees. And heading to Invercargill, fine tonight with a crisp overnight low of 6 degrees. It'll be fine tomorrow with sunny periods and some high cloud with moderate westerly winds. Expect a high of 15 and a low of 9 degrees. Northwesterlies should be freshening on Thursday with cloud increasing and rain developing at night. Expect a high of 16 and a low of 10. And that's all from the South Today team for this Tuesday. For the latest news from the Southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. And stay tuned to Channel 39 for the latest COVID-19 updates from the government. Although many stores are open, remember social distancing and safe coughing. Ka kite a popo. See you tomorrow.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.